taking losses. ST fucking L. Steady taking losses. Motherfucker gave him a fresh fade. Boosie boost.
Damn. He gave his fresh
fade. Why did they even put him on Front Street like he was even like that though?
I knew he was gonna die.
Oh, BD.
I wish I could talk to him. Don't nobody even care about Can't Get Right like that. I don't think they gonna slide like that. I don't think nothing finna happen because of that. So
they finna waste the rest of their money on that.
We ain't gonna act like nothing finna happen. Just y'all go in the house.
Gotta pay for it.
He said y'all go in the house. Lucky today. I'm finna go in the house. It's over. Somebody just popping out a cut for real.
Looking at your ass.
Really on your ass. You just shit get the flat past your you just wanna do like one of these because you acting like you fake tough. But the bitch get the hitting you damn, this shit, I can't move.
Crump getting that deal, little before they got you too.
What it is, YouTube, man? Back with another little video today. We got something crazy, you feel what I'm saying? Another video straight out of Chicago, you feel what I'm saying? We got the endless murders between Wiiic City and Tookaville. We gonna see this little video talk about. Before we start this video, you already know what the business is, man. Like the video, share, subscribe to the channel, smash that bell. You hear me? Let's dive straight into the business, man.
And that has caused the enormous wave of beef between these two groups. What seems to be the reality is that some of this beef dates all the way back to high school days, where members from these opposing areas would get into pretty basic schoolyard fights. However, these small, local schoolyard beefs would unfortunately escalate into deadly violence when those involved became old enough to get guns. But all the way back in the early 2010s, King Von had been repping his BD affiliation on social media to the fullest, holding down the blocks of Parkway and showing love to his gang for the entire world to see.
Oh, hell
yeah, bitch.
Young Von.
Yeah.
Other big names in the Wiiic City BD set include feared supposed shooters like HK and J Money or J Munna. Then of course there's King Von's beloved BD bro T Roy, who is apparently a bit of a dynamic duo along with Von, with a close bond between these two becoming very relevant later in the story. And in fact, this is the exact reason why even right up until his death in 2020, King Von used to go by the name V-Roy on Twitter, and the fact that he comes from Wiiic City is why his Twitter handle still is at King Von from the Wiiic. Basically, King Von and T-Roy loved their gang and they loved their block, holding it down with other Wiiic City members like Big A, OD, Trey 5, Platoon, Boss Money, Sharoid, Duke, who's actually been mentioned in numerous King Von lyrics, Ra Ra, aka Reezy, and Boss Top, who also became a rapper like Keith. The Wiiic City BDs were very well known for throwing up GDK hand signs repeatedly to show the world that they were GD killers who were very much indeed down to ride and kill.
GDK shit, man.
Everybody got the voice in their hand, man. You feel me? GDK. Broke boys.
So, who were the GD boys that these guys wanted to K so badly? Well, over on the STL EBT side, they were up against a few names who you might know if you're well versed in Chicago drill culture. The first to come to mind is Jakira Barnes, also known as Key or KI, a young female hitter who was good friends with fellow member Tuka growing up. Another member was FBG Butter, who along with KI were also known as a bit of a dynamic duo dubbed the Twins. Other members actually went by FBG or Flyboy Gang, an STL EB clique more focused on making music, which included other names like FBG Brick, and of course the legendary FBG Duck. Another musically inclined member who repped FBG was Lil J, who lived in STL and would later become more clicked up with them, but mainly had beef with 600 that kind of ran adjacent to this feud. They had Lil B and Wooski, who had actually been dubbed King of the Ops. There was Boss Trell and Lil Doc.
Shit crazy. It's weird, y'all, for me, because like I know more of them right here than I know about OTF and all them. This shit crazy, bro.
There was Boss Trell and Lil Doc.
This shit crazy, bro.
On the 12th of January 2011, 15-year-old Shondale Gregory, known on the streets as Tuka, was waiting at a bus stop at the 600 block on East 63rd Street. At a certain point, a dark-coloured vehicle pops up and somebody hops out wearing a half mask. Some have said that this person exchanged a few words with Tuka, but ultimately within seconds they had shot Tuka multiple times and fled the scene. STL member FBG Duck was actually close friends with Tuka, saying that after hearing about his death, he actually ran to the scene of the crime, where in a tragic moment he even got to see his slain brother before he was taken away.
Me and him clicked, like that was one of my real close friends. Like every day, like spend the night at his house, he spend the night at mine. And my cousin came in there running to me crying and shit, telling me, your friend just got killed. You feel me? Then I ran all the way from 62nd and Wabash all the way to 63rd to St. Lawrence. Saved them right there on the floor. You know how that shit go, broke right down.
In response to this tragic loss, STL EBT would rename their hood Tookaville in his honor and as a commitment for revenge. And members like FBG Brick would rep Tuka's memory to the fullest.
Do you represent Tookaville?
Oh, to the fullest. That's what I do it for. That's what it's always been about since day one. Just took it like. My homie was 15 years old when he got killed.
That shit
never hurt nobody, never did nothing, you know what I'm saying?
As you may well know, Tooka's name has been endlessly dragged in hip-hop over the years. Now, I'm not going to get into every instance or drama over this happening, but story goes, initially, the GDs from Tookaville, people like FBG Duck, were apparently saying that they were smoking Tooka out of respect for him, a nod to the old story that Tupac's crew, the Outlaws, smoked his ashes in a blunt after he died. But the BD ops from Wiiic City immediately decided...
Hold on. I didn't even know about that. They said they smoked Tupac's ashes after he died. Is crazy. What the hell? What the hell?
Smoked his ashes in a blunt after he died. But the BD ops from Wiiic City immediately decided to flip this and start making fun of Tookaville. The most immediate and iconic diss, of course, was Chief Keef's song 300, where he says "fuck Tooka gang." And from here, other members continued to disrespect. One of Tooka's closest friends growing up was a young girl named K.I. But you might know her better as the young girl who became a teenage assassin, supposedly racking up 17 bodies by 17. Story goes, it was the death of Tooka that actually turned K.I. into a cold-blooded killer. Apparently coached in shooting by her cousin, fellow Tookaville GD Boss Trell, and maneuvering in the streets by her older brother Seaball, a bloodthirsty teenage K.I. would soon become a bona fide hitter for the Tookaville GDs. Hellbent on getting revenge for Tooka, K.I. would eventually find it in the form of OD.
This shit crazy, bro.
At around 11:35 p.m. on August the 10th, 2011, 20-year-old OD Perry, respected Wiiic City member, was shot and killed near Parkway Gardens on 400 block of East 64th Street. OD suffered multiple gunshot wounds, including one to the neck.
Hold on, ain't that right there across the... Am I mistaken? Yeah, O Block right there, if I'm not mistaken. That's the AutoZone right next to that motherfucker. He was in the alleyway.
100 block of East 64th.
If I'm not mistaken, y'all.
OD suffered multiple gunshot wounds, including one to the neck, and was pronounced dead at Stroger Hospital within an hour of the shooting. Just like Tooka, in his memory, the Wiiic City B-Deems renamed Parkway Gardens O-Block, in his memory, committing to avenge him. Of course, the likes of Chief Keef and King Von immortalized O-Block, as it is now known today, in their music forever. The killing of OD Perry was supposedly revenge for the killing of Tooka, with this apparently being exemplified by the fact that it went down on Tooka's very birthday. OD's killers were never apprehended, but from here, rumors begun to swirl that this was actually the first victim of teenage Tookaville assassin K.I. And one of the people pushing these rumors was, of course, Lil J, who had apparently shared the following image along with a caption saying, "Shout out to them twins that made O-Block," referring to FBG Butter and K.I. However, for the record, no one has been convicted of this crime, and there was never any proof tying K.I. or Butter to the killing of OD Perry. Well, actually, many years later, a Freedom of Information request did reveal that the cops did officially name K.I. and Boss Trell as subjects on the report. This came after an unnamed informant named them as the shooters in 2016, years after they had passed.
Damn. So they really put that, that's her first body, though?
At 6:47 p.m. on February the 12th, 2012, Sherroyd Liggins of O-Block was discovered with a gunshot wound to the head at 6400 block of South King Drive, just outside Parkway Gardens once again. You're starting to see why they call it the most dangerous block in America now, right? Sherroyd remained in hospital fighting for his life for around 4 days, until February the 20th, when he was unfortunately pronounced dead at Stroger Hospital. No one was ever caught for this crime. However, K.I. has suggested pretty heavily on Twitter that Boss Trell from Tookaville was the one responsible, with some of the internet detectives over on Chiracology digging deeper into these tweets and suggesting that when this shooting went down, Boss Trell had actually shot Sherroyd from all the way across the street. Impeccable aim, apparently the result of his use of a gun with a red laser beam sight on it to improve his accuracy. That gun itself apparently even featured in the Lil J FBG Duck music video for the song Critical, the Chief Keef diss that actually dropped months after this happened. Combine this with the fact that Boss Trell himself seemed to be bragging about the incident on Twitter later in the year, with K.I. also tweeting references to that red beam. A frankly brazen attack, which naturally only beget more bloodshed between O-Block and Tookaville in the months that followed. Now, I've got some extra info for you here, because Sherroyd, who was actually murdered early on in this beef, is actually the brother of C Murder, another O-Block member who was arrested by the feds for the murder of FBG Duck. We saw C Murder tribute to his fallen brother on Instagram regularly, so with this in mind, you can understand why he would have held a years-long grudge against the opposing gang who took the life of his brother. But it didn't end there, because the bloodshed in the streets would continue, with the likes of King Von apparently playing a major part in taking the lives of enemies from the opposing area.
This shit crazy, bro.
On October the 13th, 2012, a 17-year-old boy named Modell McCambry was walking along the street with his cousin on the way to meet a girl. This went down
crazy,
on the 6300
and it's all going around, like, all around each other, though. Like, this shit's wild, bro.
block of South Rhodes Avenue. At around 9:30 p.m, somebody walked up and opened fire, hitting Modell in the chest. He too later died in Stroger Hospital. But who was responsible, you ask? Well, many have suggested that it was actually O-Block future rap superstar King Von, mainly due to the fact that he himself had made numerous tweets to Tookaville op Wiiic, where Von seems to hint at him, or at least his crew, being
I remember Modell with that one eye from blah blah. It's messed up what happened to him at Wiiic. You know who made Jaja Gang Modell World Crack Crew. Damn.
Responsible for Modell's death. In fact, Von was actually rumored to have been present for numerous shootings carried out by the O-Block during this period of time, which naturally built him up a feared reputation as a member who was always down to do some dirt. He himself even famously bragged in his songs to have a total of 7 bodies under his belt. Yes, it is thought that King Von himself actually carried out this killing, with Von around this time developing not only a talent for murder as part of the deadly ongoing war in his hood, but also a habit of bragging about the bodies that he had caught in the streets publicly, mainly using social media and sites like Twitter to brag about his exploits in the streets. Von would even go back and forth directly with ops online for everyone to see, including this iconic Twitter exchange with rival rapper Wiiic about who has more bodies. Von would tweet things around this time that he just wants to kill, and that apparently women don't want to be with him when they find out that he's a murderer. Bragging about dirt in the streets on social media is a precedent that would be set early in this story and would continue throughout the entirety of the 10-year war. It seems that the young men involved in committing these crimes are surprisingly eager to brag and boast about their exploits online, presumably doing this for status or clout or ego, and it would be this habit that would play a huge part in their eventual downfall, but not before a whole lot more killing had taken place.
This shit wild, bro.
On October the 30th, 2012, a man named Derek Johnson, also known on the streets as P5 or Crack, was gunned down. Now, he wasn't actually Tookaville, but a member of Jarrow City, a Chicago gang set north of Tookaville with a long history dating to back before this feud even began. But apparently, P5 was out walking on Tookaville turf, specifically the 6200 block of South Eberhart Avenue, where apparently J Money, King Von, and Big A of O-Block were lurking in the area looking for Tookaville ops to attack. In fact, only a day before this incident went down, King Von himself had tweeted that he was out trying to catch more bodies so that he could catch up with fellow O-Block shooter T-Roy.
What the fuck type of competition is that, man? Yeah, I need to get my bodies up because my homie got more bodies than me, so I gotta go out tonight and I gotta smoke me some bodies just so I can be cool like him. What the fuck type of shit is that, my nigga? King Von is wildin'. King Von tweaking, what the hell?
The story goes that when these O-Block shooters were out lurking, they spotted P5 around 9:13 in the morning, opening fire and hitting him multiple times.
Damn.
Some have even gone as far as to suggest that he was actually hit 6 times in the head and 9 times in the body. P5 was taken to Stroger Hospital, but once again pronounced dead within the hour. And from here, the wanton violence between O-Block and Tookaville was far from over, as the O-Block side would continue to seek retribution for the attacks that had been done on them, and so soon after the P5 incident, O-Block would appear to claim a high-profile member of Tookaville. 17-year-old Rodney Stewart, aka Boss Trell, aka the red beam slinging marksman who'd allegedly killed Sherroyd from way across the street for Tookaville, was apparently planning to flee town, tweeting about being excited for a fresh start on the 6th of November, even purchasing a bus ticket with the intention of leaving town on the 10th. But unfortunately, only 2 days before his scheduled departure, on the 8th of November, Boss Trell was found face down in an alley in the 2600 block of West 83rd Street. He'd been shot in the back of the head. Now, in case you couldn't tell, the location of this shooting is a long way from O-Block and Tookaville, and it's actually been suggested by some that J Money and T-Roy were actually responsible for coordinating a setup of Boss Trell via an allegedly disloyal ex-girlfriend. Apparently luring him well away from Tookaville with the promise of meeting a girl, but when he arrived, BT was shot in the head and left for dead. His grandmother said the identity of the shooter is not a secret, but no witnesses were willing to step up. He didn't actually pass away immediately and apparently was left fighting for his life brain dead in the hospital for several days. This was followed by T-Roy of O-Block, who is widely believed to have been responsible for this incident, mockingly tweeting on the 8th of November, "No, Trell, stay alive." Meanwhile, Tookaville affiliates like FBG Cash were paying their respects to Boss Trell, but ultimately he passed away later that day. Meanwhile, of course, over on O-Block, they were celebrating for having gotten retribution for their fallen brother Sherroyd, but Boss Trell was of course a devastating loss for Tookaville, and he would soon be avenged in spectacular fashion.
But like, bro, the fact that like Bro, one of your ex-girlfriends set you up is fucking crazy. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. If one of my old shawty think they about to set me up, that's dead, bro. That's dead. Ain't no beef with none of y'all. But like, god damn, y'all, I'll be mad as hell for shawty set me up. Like, I thought I was finna smash or something, pull up. Like, nah, bro. Nah, I couldn't. Nah, bro. Nah, bro, that's wild, bro. That's wild, bro.
As on September the 2nd, 2013, Jerome Wood, also known as J Money, from O Block was allegedly set up. Ironically, in a way not dissimilar to how Boss Trell had been set up, with J Money apparently visiting a location on the 6600 block of South Rhodes Avenue around 2 p.m. Allegedly set up by a girl on the ops turf, legend has it that J Money was expecting to see a woman he knew, but arrived to the location to be greeted by Lil B and KI from Tookaville. He apparently attempted to flee down a gangway into an adjacent property, but he was unfortunately shot in the head, collapsing outdoors and not making it. Tweets from other gang members have suggested that this incident was direct retaliation for P5, as well as Boss Trell, and KI actually tweeted after this incident about shooting people in the back of the head, tweets which many people thought suggested direct involvement by KI, referring to this.
What the second one say? What the shooter for point blank rage in the back of the head? Oh my god, so snitching at his finest.
Back of the head, tweets which many people thought suggested direct involvement by KI, referring to this exact incident. That's as far as things went in that Tookaville video. However, things would eventually catch up with that female assassin, KI, as she'd be gunned down on April the 11th, 2014. And for 7 years, many people, including myself, speculated on whether King Von had been involved with the killing with some assistance from fellow O Block hitter Big A. And only after his death in 2021 did Chicago police release documents appearing to confirm that King Von himself was indeed the killer of KI, with apparently multiple witnesses pinning Von as the shooter, but the cops ultimately didn't have enough evidence to bring an official charge against Von at this point. But that wouldn't matter, because only around a month and a half after the murder of KI, King Von would catch yet another body, but this time end up in jail. A story which once again I have already covered in a detailed video on this channel. May 29th, 2014, a birthday party is taking place in Englewood, Chicago, on the 5700 block of South LaSalle Street. And in attendance at this party are 4 men. A man named Malcolm Stuckey, who's chilling at this party with 2 unnamed friends of his. And also at the party,
Brody look like a complete different person with no beard.
Stuckey, who's chilling at this party with 2 unnamed friends of his.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't know who this was at first, bro.
Also at the party is Davon Bennett, better known nowadays as King Von, the rapper from Chicago's O Block. Now, at a certain point during this party, Malcolm and his homies are steady eyeballing King Von, who decides at this point to briefly leave the party. He goes away and allegedly gets his homie Michael Wade, aka Big Mike. Now, Big Mike later told the police that he had gone to this party with King Von with the intention of acting as muscle for Von, who had planned to confront the person who had been mean mugging him. And when Von and Big Mike got back to the party around 45 minutes later, they parked up in an alleyway. Allegedly at this point, they both got out with loaded guns and proceeded to the front porch of the property, where they opened fire on Malcolm Stuckey and the 2 other men. Apparently they ended up firing over 20 shots. Malcolm Stuckey was unfortunately fatally wounded in the head. Meanwhile, the 2 other men attempted to flee, one into the house and the other down the street. However, unfortunately, once again, both were hit by gunshots, but ultimately they both survived. At this point, allegedly, Von and Big Mike ran back to their car and fled the scene. But of course, this was a serious charge that neither of them could run from for long. Within a few weeks, they were both in custody. So, King Von would be picked up for murder and end up sitting in jail for around 3.5 years. Eventually, he would miraculously manage to beat those charges on a technicality. But while Von was locked up, the war would continue to play out in the streets. And with one of O Block's most fearsome hitters, King Von, locked up, the block would be vulnerable to its enemies. This would ultimately lead to the deaths of a number of people who were very close to Von and his friends, who we introduced at the start of this story. In the face of yet more of their childhood friends being murdered, allegedly at the hands of their rivals from 63rd, the young men from O Block, with no guidance, support, and nothing better to do than seek revenge against those who had killed their friends, formed a new gang focused solely on get-backs, getting retribution and revenge for their friends whose lives had been taken. This is the birth of Get Back Gang.
Get Back Gang, oh my fucking god. This shit is wild, bro. Like, you see, a motherfucker made a 41-minute video on Chicago lore. I'm shocked they didn't make a motherfucking book out of this shit, or like a movie, like some real movies. You feel what I'm saying? Like, This shit
Whilst
does
Von
not
had been
seem
sat in
real.
jail awaiting progress on the murder charge against him for killing Malcolm Stuckey, rival gangs from the surrounding areas were plotting attacks on the most beloved members from O Block, and soon lives would be lost. On July the 17th, 2016, Chino from O Block, real name Chirino Gatewood, is murdered in a Sunday morning shooting on the 5700 block of South Union, after a car allegedly pulled up with someone asking Chino where they could buy weed before opening fire, emptying the rest of the clip into his body on the ground, with Chino later dying in St. Bernard Hospital. There's been a great deal of debate online about what set specifically had something to do with this killing, but regardless of who was responsible, what we do know is that Chino from O Block was the brother of BJ, hence why he goes by the name Chino Mafia on Instagram. So here we have yet another person from O Block who's lost a relative and is likely burning for some kind of revenge. And sadly, the bloodshed for O Block would continue all the way through 2016, as Big A, the O Block hitter, who is apparently a feared member accompanying King Von to the KI hit, is killed himself, allegedly by members associated with 63rd, being shot in the face at Sammy's Grill restaurant just across the street from O Block at around 3:10 a.m. Big A was thought to be a big bounty for his opposition because of his alleged involvement with KI's death, with him apparently even sporting the new nickname Ask KI after her death, with it even being rumoured that one of the shooters that took out Big A is indeed a blood relative of KI. At this point, O Block had already suffered a lot of losses in the streets, but the most devastating of all would come in 2017, when King Von's best friend and one of the most feared shooters in O Block, T-Roy, would lose his life. T-Roy, or Troy, was apparently deep in the streets. He had the word Savage tattooed on his neck and went by O Block Savage on social media, describing himself on video as a real shooter.
Shoot you, no problem. I will fucking shoot you.
Damn.
Yes, I will. So if you see me and ain't no shit, leave me the fuck alone.
Look. I don't know if y'all know a lot about T-Roy, you know what I'm saying? I don't know a lot about T-Roy, but I heard he was way more worse than Von. And he had way more bodies than Von said. He tried to keep his bodies up with him. Like this dude was really a demon. He really living like that, bro. Y'all better, what the fuck, staying away from bro. Oh God, like hell no.
You don't know if I was on your ass, cause I ain't gonna get the motherfucking, you know, looking at you, none of that shit. I'm just gonna scorn you, dumbass. Scorn, bitch.
Boss Top from O Block would later tell Fuchsia's TV in an interview that Troy was a real fearless demon.
Roy just was different, you know what I'm saying? He was a real enforcer. Like Shorty was right, he was out here for real, you know? Shorty was a savage on another motherfucker that was fearless. Like he had no fear. Get that gang!
So apparently T-Roy was truly putting in work in the war in the streets. Shortly after tweeting an angry face on Valentine's Day 2017, T-Roy, real name James Johnson, would travel to a sports casual activewear store, where some have said he might have been shopping for an outfit, while others have claimed that he was op shopping, i.e. lurking in a store that he knows his rivals frequent, hoping to catch and murder them. But the story goes that the person that T-Roy was looking for spotted him first and was quicker on the draw when they ultimately came face to face. Gunfire erupted inside of the store, with T-Roy unfortunately losing his life. Only a brief moment of surveillance video was captured and released, showing the moment that T-Roy was caught off guard in the store by a man and an accomplice. T-Roy would be shot in the chest, later dying at the Northwestern Memorial Hospital at the young age of 23. T-Roy was beloved on his block, with the most successful Chicago drill rappers at the time honoring him in tweets. He was mourned by Chief Keef, Lil Reese, Lil Durk, as well as O Block members like C Murder and King Von, who tributed him on Twitter with a caption that read, "Rest up T-Roy, real savage." This love was apparently reciprocated by T-Roy whilst he was still alive, because while King Von was locked up, T-Roy's whole Twitter page was dedicated to Von's freedom, with it still looking like this to this day, years after his death. While he was still alive, T-Roy would regularly post pictures of himself and King Von saying free his brother and right-hand man. Of course, King Von was still in jail when T-Roy was killed, with Von apparently being left broken-hearted, breaking down in his cell.
This shit crazy, because it's like, damn, King Von got arrested, and next thing you know, all his homies started getting knocked off, and you can't do nothing about that. You behind the cell, you can't do nothing. Like, god damn, really think about that, bro. There's nothing in your power you can do. Nothing. That shit crazy, bro. That's it. Wow.
To go live and tell the story about what happened the day that T-Roy died and how Von prepared for vengeance.
Hey, what happened? I mean, they just killed T-Roy. Who? He what? Hey, I'm T-Roy. They just killed T-Roy. Oh, I gotta break it down on King Dave. That shit. I couldn't help it. They hugging me. These some real niggas. You see what I'm saying? We grown ass men. Oh, hold on, boy, that's my best friend, boy. Tell me they just killed my best friend while I'm in jail. I'm in that bitch finna go crazy. Oh, I'm in that bitch, don't know what's going on. I'm in that bitch getting that. I'm in that bitch getting that. If he get got, there ain't a lot of hope for a lot of niggas. Everybody. Everybody dying, everybody in jail.
This is when it said that Von demanded revenge, and it was at this point that Get Back Gang was formed. Fuka from 600 announced on Twitter that there was a lot to come, and blood relatives of T-Roy, HK, Zelmuna, and Slutty would all be eager to see their brother avenged. Now, obviously, given T-Roy's fearsome reputation in the streets, after he died, the opposition was seen celebrating. FBG Duck went live with somebody talking about how they were happy they had gotten T-Roy out the way.
Look on my head going, good, they so happy, it's been funny as hell, because I know folks know proud, they got him out the way. I know them.
I'm on live, G, shut the fuck up.
Till a nigga get killed, till a nigga get spilled.
Damn, they on here talking about what you think about T-Roy getting popped. Damn, T-Roy got popped? When that happened? When T-Roy get popped? Damn, somebody popped him. Is he dead? Is he dead? Did he die? Damn, merchant, they pop T-Roy. It must don't be, it must ain't that important shit. It ain't all over the internet.
Damn.
I ain't see it. Shit.
Now, T-Roy was allegedly killed by a gang member by the name of TB, real name Terry Barry, with it being said that he'd been identified by a witness as the shooter in a photo lineup that circulated online. Wow. TB would also go on to tweet after the murder, Happy Valentine's Day, and saying that somebody got hit trying to do a hit. TB had actually been pictured numerous times near the murder location, as apparently this was an area that he was known to frequent. This is why it made sense for T-Roy to go there looking for him, but it would also end up, ironically, very close where he would lose his life.
But like, bro, for you to be there at the stove, really think about this, to be at the stove looking for your op in broad daylight to smoke his ass broad daylight is crazy, bro. Like, y'all moving different, bro. So, well, some say he was looking for his op, some saying he was just there to go buy some clothes. But like, think about this, bro. If he really, come on, man, he ain't stupid, bro. Brody ain't stupid, bro. He probably was really there looking for his op, bro. That shit, wow. Y'all motherfuckers crazy. The bloody rise of what? Get back, gang.
2017 was a bloody year on the streets of Chicago, as we'd see the murder of numerous individuals, which many believe were part of Get Back Gang's coordinated revenge campaign to avenge T-Roy. Members from O-Block would tweet about an entire summer of get-backs, even suggesting that to them, killing feels like sex. One of the lines lost during this bloody summer was Poppy, real name Sherrod Rhyme. On the 16th of June 2017, he was killed on the 7000 block of South State, outside the L&P Foods candy warehouse, where he was literally working a shift.
Wow.
After being asked to help a customer load some items into their vehicle, Poppy was standing outside when apparently a gunman jumped out of a car with a ski mask on, executing Poppy with a gunshot to the head, then firing 2 more shots into his body. The supposed shooter in this attack was Heck, or HK, from O-Block, with this incident himself apparently earning him the nickname Headshot King, hence the initials HK. But let me make it clear, this is nothing to be glamorized. The fact that people on the streets of America in 2017 are doing broad daylight headshot executions is something I struggle to wrap my head around. I mean, the insanity of this crime is driven home all the more by the shocking amateur video of the aftermath of the killing in scenes that are far too shocking to show you on YouTube, where traumatized members of the public scream in fear and grief in the aftermath of this terrible crime, frantically trying to help this man that's just been murdered at work in front of everybody. Poppy was mourned by people on his side of the war, people like TB, as well as FBG Duck's brother Brick, but it would only be a month and a day later, on the 17th of July 2017, that FBG Brick himself would suffer the same fate, being spotted by 3 individuals while standing on his block at 6300 South St. Lawrence Avenue. A number of men jumped out of a car and opened fire. FBG Brick, real name Jermaine Robinson, tried to run, and the man he was with, Kobe, real name Stanley Jacoby Mack, was shot dead on sight, whilst Brick was chased into a gangway where he was sadly shot to death too. A lot of conflicting reports have circulated suggesting who was responsible for these killings, and since his arrest for the murder of FBG Duck, C Murder from O-Block has also been accused of killing Brick, while many internet detectives believe that HK, the Headshot King, played a part in this slaying too. But regardless of who was involved, once again, there is nothing glamorous about this. The immediate aftermath of this horrendous act was also caught on video in scenes that are far too shocking to show you on YouTube. Once again, as traumatized members of the public stand by, as Brick's mother and FBG Duck arrive to the scene to witness and break down at the tragedy that has just unfolded in their community. After this, FBG Duck was pictured at the scene with his mother, and it was here that apparently something very important happened, because apparently this is when FBG Duck's mum told her son not to get revenge in the streets for his brother, but to instead focus on his music career and help his family in a better way.
And I was sitting on the ground and him and my auntie was hugging me.
That shit different. Imagine you had somebody telling you to stay up out the way, focus on your music, let's get up out of here, and damn, bro, you still stayed up in the trenches, so you can't be doing that,
my
man.
son in, and I was like, Duck, I need you.
Right.
I don't need you doing nothing stupid. I say, Duck, I need you. And me telling that to my son, he went to that motherfucking studio and went crazy. That pain music y'all hear from 17 up until he got signed, that was motivation from me. Cause I could have been like, hell no, I want all them motherfuckers dead. I'm finna go kill some motherfuckers myself.
Oh, goddamn it.
Nah. See what God got planned for you, can't nobody interfere with it. Cause God already written it for your life to be like that.
Now, Duck and Brick's mother is a strong woman, but more on her later on in this story. A little while after the killing, FBG Duck goes live on Brick's Instagram account. Initially, Duck just looked at the camera looking somber, as many in the comments would type RIP Brick, telling Duck to get out of the city as soon as possible. Damn. But after 2 minutes of silence, Duck did begin to speak, and it was serious.
If you mention Brick or Kobe, you gonna die.
Duck would later discuss the loss of his brother in a Vlad TV interview, refusing to say if he knew who was responsible.
So nobody knows what happened?
Like, even if I did, I wouldn't even speak on it.
A few days after the hit, O-Block members were pictured on their block in good spirits. And as time goes by, members of O-Block like E-Dog would tweet publicly that more get-backs are on the way. And this time, they were looking for their most coveted revenge, hoping to kill TB for the murder of T. Roy, with HK lurking in his ops IG lives, asking where TB is at in the days leading up to the attack. Then on September the 26th, 2017, it's thought that HK caught TB sitting on a couch, only moments away from that very same store where T. Roy was
These motherfuckers was tweeting online where he at. We were looking for him, put emojis and where he, what the fuck? And they really hunted him down and murdered him. What the hell? God, bro, y'all motherfuckers some demons, bro.
And according to the incident report, shooters pulled up in a stolen black car, hopping out, firing multiple shots and hitting 2 people. TB, real name Terry Barry, was later pronounced dead at Northwestern Hospital. If HK did this killing as the internet has suggested, then this means that he personally avenged his brother, T. Roy. And it does make me wonder just how much satisfaction he truly would have gotten out of carrying out that murder. Because at the end of the day, all we have is another young man dead, and the cycle continues. Tweets around the time of TB's passing mourned him with the nickname T. Roy Slayer, seemingly confirming that TB was indeed the killer of T. Roy. And following TB's murder, of course, O-Block members would tweet about there being new op packs, saying that TB shouldn't have dissed their dead friends and mocking him along with other deceased members. Boss Top from O-Block would later even tweet at him directly, saying that he begged for his life. These celebrations wouldn't continue for long, however, as the following month, on the 24th of November 2017, the supposed headshot king, Heck, or HK, real name Hakeem Murray, is confronted at O-Block and killed. He was shot numerous times in the body and pronounced dead at Northwestern Hospital. This is yet another tragedy. T. Roy's brother, who had just avenged his death, HK, would now be gone too, leaving behind 2 more grieving relatives.
But how the hell that happened? They went in O-Block and smoked him? How the hell that happened? Was it his homies that backdoored him? How'd that happen?
O-Block, Slutty, and Zell. Of course, O-Block's rivals reacted positively to HK's death on social media. Meanwhile, he was being mourned by O-Block members like C. Murder, E-Dog, and even Lil Durk expressed his sadness at the news. But this war was far from over, and you can best believe that there was more bloodshed on the way after this incident. But what happened next surprised a lot of people, as one of the most feared members from O-Block, who had been out of action and off the streets for around 3.5 years at this point, would return to the war and play a massive role in assisting the killers from O-Block continue their bloody campaign for getbacks. You know who I'm talking about.
Who?
King
Von.
Von.
I fucking knew it. Von. Nah,
In December 2017, King Von gets out of jail after beating all of his charges on that murder case. This was apparently the result of his co-defendant Big Mike initially attempting to put the blame on Von, admitting to the cops that he fired shots but suggesting that King Von was the killer who shot fatally, implicating himself in the crime but suggesting that he was going to cooperate with the police. Meanwhile, King Von kept his mouth shut entirely, not saying a word for the entire 3.5-year wait for trial. And once his day in court came, because he'd not said a word, Von was acquitted, and Big Mike, who admitted firing shots that night, was sentenced to 28 years, in the end refusing to implicate King Von in court at all, with Von even later dropping lyrics that suggested that a witness had been murdered in the process of him beating his case. So,
I know you feel dumb as hell. You snitched on bro and you got 28 years. I know you feel dumb as shit, goddamn.
Celebrating being fresh home from jail, his main opposition are beginning to make waves in the music industry. In January 2018, FBG Wiiic dropped the very disrespectful track Computers. FBG Duck was dancing in the video, and the track itself was crammed with disses aimed at fallen members of O Block on their side of the war. He dissed Big A, J Money, OD, Chino, and more names associated with 600, a set affiliated with O Block that we're not going to focus on in this story for simplicity's sake. But it wasn't just Wiiic looking to start trouble with his enemies. In February 2018, the music video for FBG Duck smash hit drill song Slide releases. The chorus of the song is quite literally Duck inviting his ops to slide on him and fire shots in his direction. And the entire music video is basically just Duck rapping whilst toting a gun with a drum magazine surrounded by shooters, giving the camera an open invitation for anybody in Chicago to come and slide on him. Setting aside the sentiment of these lyrics, Duck was doing what his mother had told him to do when Brick passed away, focusing his energy on music rather than the streets. And sliding on a song rather than sliding on an actual drill really paid off for Duck. He allegedly signed a $2 million record deal off the back of Slide, but on the other hand, it is easy to overlook the real message of that song, which really is an open invitation for any of his enemies in the city to come and find him and kill him. Now, clearly not content with the opposition having some success in the music industry, since beating his murder case and coming home, King Von decided to use his interesting backstory to kickstart a career in drill music too. On May 27, 2018, dropping the song Beat That Body with fellow body beater THF Bezu, a track coming with insane lyrics where Von essentially cops to catching that body, beating it and saying that he plans to catch even more. Von's insane backstory would be irresistible to fans of Chicago drill music. But while FBG Duck had promised his mother to focus on music rather than sliding in the streets, the same couldn't really be said for King Von, who while beginning his career as a part-time rapper, didn't seem to have any plans on giving up his full-time role as an O-Block driller. And in the months following King Von's musical debut, killings would still play out on the street with King Von directly plugged into the action. The next unfortunate life to be lost in this story is a friend of FBG Duck's by the name of Can't Get Right, aka Man Man. Duck is seen in a vlog hanging out with Man Man back in the day.
You got Tookaville game, man. You got Facebook? Yeah. Everything Tookaville game, man.
Interestingly, throughout this interview, Can't Get Right is looking over his shoulder and looking out for Duck the entire time. Just goes to show you how unsafe you really are standing on these blocks. And this was in an interview where Duck shockingly says that he will kill anybody who disses him.
How come there's never any Chicago rappers really dissing FBG Duck? You know, they diss each other, but nobody really disses you for any...
But they gonna die.
Right.
The fuck? It's not for play. You diss me, I'm gonna kill you.
Unfortunately, on July the 16th, 2018, Can't Get Right, aka Man Man, real name DeAndre Wallace, is waiting for food outside of a store on the 400 block of East 63rd Street. At some point, two people pulled up and waited outside. And when Can't Get Right was spotted coming out of the store, two men ran up opening fire, killing both their target and an innocent bystander who was just there sweeping up outside of the restaurant. Once again, CCTV footage captured the shooting, and witnesses on the scene with their smartphones captured the aftermath in scenes that are far too shocking to show you on YouTube. Both men were pronounced dead at University of Chicago Hospital.
We are looking for the gunman who killed two men overnight. They were standing outside of a store in the city's Woodlawn neighborhood when someone started shooting. A 43-year-old man was shot in the chest. He died at the hospital. The other victim, a 22-year-old, also died. Police say the 22-year-old is a known gang member and was the intended target.
And to make matters worse, it's said that FBG Duck was shot the same day in an incident said to have taken place some hours later at a different location. Though for the record, some have suggested that Duck might have been shot in the same incident as Can't Get Right, but may have only been found with injuries later on away from the scene, refusing to give an accurate report of his involvement. But regardless of what actually went down, it just goes to show you just how unsafe FBG Duck was staying in his city, even after becoming such a successful rapper with a big deal.
But in some ways, bro, if I got $2 million, bro, I'm out of there, bro. I'm out of there, bro. Out of the state. Fuck that. Fuck the city. Out of the state. Out. What the hell? Like, that's... Hell no, bro. I don't know what bro was thinking. I don't know how he thought he was gonna finesse that. I don't know. But that's a very bad idea. No disrespect to FBG Duck, you feel what I'm saying? But like, bro, if you get any type of money, bro, get out of the low vibrational environment and go to a new environment so you can improve yourself even more and elevate yourself and your career. You feel what I'm saying? Why would you stay in the same motherfucking spot? That don't even make sense. Like, no disrespect, may he rest in peace, bro.
Even more crazy than the crime itself was what went down on social media immediately afterwards, as King Von would go live on Instagram the same day as the double murder, alongside Mimo600, apparently from Atlanta, with the sole purpose of mocking his deceased ops. And I've got to tell you, this live is wild. It's truly a masterclass in self-snitching. They start off lighting a blunt, saying Can't Get Right, and asking the viewers what just happened.
There you go.
King Von, crazy.
There you go. There you go.
Because I can't get right.
Alright, everybody, not at one time. What just happened? What just happened?
A lot of glitches and F.
Motherfucker, a demon, bro.
You right there.
How you get out of jail, bro? I'm sorry for pausing so much, but how you get out of jail, bro? Hey, think about this. This is in 2018. He blew up in 2019, bro. He made a bag in 2019. Got out of jail for murders. Murdered some old people. Rapped about it. And then got rich. What the fuck? This shit crazy. Like, what?
You think about who got killed? That's what I'm asking. Who got killed, gang?
Yeah.
Can't get right, got killed.
Word.
Can't get right.
Hey, somebody show me a picture. I don't think I know y'all talking about. Is this can't get...
Is that can't get right? Hold on. Is this him? Is this can't get right?
This ain't called snitching. I'm just trying to get verified.
From here, people start commenting in the chat, "Can't get up." And it seems like the O-Block hitters are so amused by this wordplay that they basically just confess to being involved in the murder on the spot.
Can't get up. Oh no.
They always make some shit before we do it. They beat us to it every time.
Y'all should start killing people.
Oh, hell no.
You still in that.
Oh, Steve, this nigga crazy.
After this, we see the crew say that it was 2 people down and that they're going to have to roll another one, whoever it is, seemingly unaware that the second person who was killed at that scene was just an innocent cleaner.
They said 2 down. Damn.
2 men that I can't take.
On David, they said it on both our lives.
I can barely take
David. 2 piece? I can take one. Somebody roll another one.
Can't
Fuck
take
it. Whoever else got hit.
Real talk, these guys are so
crazy.
twisted, they even started to react mockingly to their ops posting long tributes to their fallen friends on Instagram.
You see that paragraph under that picture, you know it's over.
Damn, best friend, you just told me to pop out.
I remember back in the days when you
just told me to pop out, best friend.
Nah,
Why the fuck you do me like this? You bogus as hell. They ain't try to, bitch.
They
Shut
gonna
up.
be dissing the sound you. You know, you better not get caught like that.
From here, they keep mocking the ops by specific block and saying that the FN gave him a fade like Boosie.
Steady taking losses. ST fucking L. Steady taking losses. Motherfucker gave him a fresh fade. Boosie boost.
Damn.
Hey, why did they even put him on Front Street like he was even like that though?
Then Von comes back and says straight up that he must have known he was going to die and that no one will care he's gone anyway.
He probably knew he was gonna die.
On BD.
I wish I could talk to him for that. Don't nobody even care about Can't Get Right like that. I don't think they gonna slide like that. I don't think nothing finna happen because of that, so.
They finna waste the rest of their money on that.
We ain't even gonna act like nothing finna happen. Just y'all go in the house.
gotta pay for it.
He said y'all go in the house.
Today. I'm finna go in the house. It's over.
Then they even started reliving the hit, saying that their ops aren't even used to somebody jumping out of a car and firing a gun at them non-stop.
You not used to somebody just popping out a cut for real.
Looking at your ass.
Really on your ass. You just shit get the flat past your head. You just want to do like one of these because you acting like you fake tough. But them bitch get the hitting you, damn, this shit, I can't move.
Crump getting that there, little before they got you too.
So while Von is on live bragging about this hit from another city, back in O-Block, Muwop posted a picture with Duke telling the world that they are shooters. E-Dog from O-Block jumped on Twitter to say that the get back is not over. Von would later tweet about there being a new op pack suggesting that his brothers are the one that made it. Meanwhile, FBG Duck was reacting to the loss of his close friend and his own shooting on his story, saying that he was sick with grief. At this point, in my opinion, it is truly unbelievable that King Von really thought that he could manage and multitask his ties in both the streets and the music industry. By August, his song Problems is dropping on Lil Durk's Only the Family compilation album, with the whole song being about Von saying that he basically has hitters that are out catching bodies for him.
I never heard that song before.
The war was far from over, and we would soon see one of the most shocking and despicable acts of violence that the streets of Chicago had ever witnessed. Ironically, one where no one would even lose their life. But before that would happen, another senseless murder would set the stage. On October the 9th, 2018, Chicago rapper Dooski the Man, real name Ventrice Chris, would be shot in the head on the 5600 block of South Michigan Avenue, apparently the result of a drive-by shooting from a passing brown vehicle. Dooski was left laying dead on the street with pictures of his dead body circulating online. Members from 600 were celebrating Dooski's murder, while O-Block members would ironically be tweeting shush emojis. Anywho, Dooski was very close to another Chicago rapper by the name of Wiiic, and they had dropped songs together like the February 2018 track Shooters. Apparently Wiiic was a big target for Get Back Gang, especially considering the disrespect that he showed his ops on that diss song Computers at the start of the year. So from here, after the murder of Dooski, it appeared that Get Back Gang members hatched a plan to shoot up his funeral because they knew Wiiic would be there. But even more crazy, E-Dog and King Von would even FaceTime FaceTime Wiiic a few days before the funeral, telling him that they were going to surprise him.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you know what the fuck going on. That's your big brother, you know. I wish I could say one of y'all was my boys. We got all goofies over there.
I ain't tell you what to do it tonight on
What's y'all off the courage? What made y'all do it tonight? Wow. Listen, we gon' surprise. It's time about tonight. We gon' surprise, bro. Yeah, the bitches out for the free. But you talking about tonight.
Meanwhile, E-Dog is
bro,
openly...
imagine that, bro. Your ops telling you we gonna surprise you, bro. You didn't even think about the funeral. And they straight pulled up and shot that motherfucker up. Shot you in your head and shot somebody else, bro. Like, God damn,
tweeting
bro.
that another get back is coming and that they're planning to get rid of someone. And sure enough, on the afternoon of October the 22nd, at Dusky's funeral, a car turns up. People jump out of the car and start shooting into the crowd outside of the church indiscriminately. But apparently, they were looking for Wiiic.
Police say they heard a barrage of shots just after noon. They were coming from across the street at a funeral for a local musician known as Dusky DeMan was letting out. His real name is Van Treese Christ. He was killed by gunfire earlier this month. Witnesses today heard a couple of shots at first, apparently fired into the crowd. Then many more, several dozen more shots. Investigators have placed markers indicating where shell casings are located, but so far they have no one in custody.
Footage was captured in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, which again is probably too shocking to show you on YouTube, but it resembles a war zone. It's truly hard to believe that this kind of thing is going on American soil. 6 people were hit in this incident, and Wiiic himself was shot in the head, miraculously surviving. With some initially believing that Wiiic had passed, FBG Duck confirmed on IG Live that Wiiic had indeed survived the attack. Von would tweet after the funeral shooting that they had won the beef, with Muwop retweeting and agreeing. From here, Von would go on to drop numerous lyrics over the course of his career, disrespecting and making fun of Wiiic's shooting at their funeral. With Von's lyrics on the track back again, literally saying that he slides at funerals, shoots everyone outside, and Wiiic is going to feel it. It's honestly insane to me that Von got away with
admitted to sliding on him at the funeral? What the fuck?
saying stuff like this.
Hell
but I guess it was
no.
that same insanity and boldness that attracted people to Von's music, with fans throwing on these murder anthems wondering, how could this monster still be on the streets and making music? Only days before Dusky's funeral, King Von had dropped the track War With Us, notable for lyrics that appear to take credit for killing the female driller K.I., a killing that Chicago police would later confirm that Von did. But it would be in December 2018 when King Von dropped his breakout anthem Crazy Story that this microphone murderer would break into the mainstream. Crazy Story is a storytelling song where King Von skillfully glides over the beat, using his raps to tell an entire Chicago drill story. The story involves him using a woman to lure a rich man in to rob them, with the story ending with Von shooting somebody. The most notable part of this song is at the end, where Von introduced the world to his regular catchphrase dissing his ops on 63rd. And dissing 63rd or saying he's not from 63rd would become a huge part of King Von's brand going forward. He'd later be seen selling merch with a 63rd street sign with a
I ain't never see this shit. I ain't never see this before. Who the hell? Bro, hell no, bro. If I see somebody wearing this, I don't even gangbang, bro. Y'all wild. If you not from there, bro, don't be dissing them, bro. If you not from the trenches, if you not beefing with somebody, why is you... You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not speaking on Fredo Bang. I don't know what he got going on with them. But if you don't even know these people, done traded shots with them, got dead homies, dead ops with them, why would you even wear some bullshit like that? Like, you feel me? Like, that's how I see shit.
Now, Von's track Crazy Story was distributed by Lil Durk's OTF, Only the Family label. And Crazy Story was a huge success for both Von and Durk. It's got over 67 million views on YouTube today, and the song was such a hit Lil Durk jumped onto a remix or part 2 of the track, and with a winning formula, it seemed like King Von would only get more and more disrespectful and shocking in his songs going forward, dissing the deceased and his living ops in his tracks, ultimately going back and forth with FBG Duck in his music and on social media, with their deadly street beef turning momentarily into more of a rap beef. But sadly, Von and Duck's feud wouldn't stay on wax for very long at all.
Damn, bro, that I ain't gonna lie,
more
y'all.
of a rap beef.
This motherfucking video, all these people passing away is wow. These murders are crazy. I don't even, and it's crazy because it's like O Block took, like, as soon as Von got locked up, like, it's like O Block took a whole bunch of L's, bro. After that, like, and then he got back out, and then they started doing good again. Like, they was taking off again, but now he gone. Now the YN's taking over. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with FBG and all them, bro. I haven't heard about FBG for real since Duck passed away. You feel what I'm saying? I heard about Butter, Ruga. Ruger stepping for them. You already know Ruger about his business, but that motherfucker's crazy, bro. Y'all, you know, we just watched Ruger sit there and check Adam 22, FBG brother. He just got locked up again. Try to escape the police. You feel what I'm saying? These motherfuckers crazy, bro. Motherfuckers, they different, bro. Let me know what y'all feel about this video, though. I know this one was a long one. You feel what I'm saying, man? Like the video, share, subscribe to the channel, smash that bell. You hear me? It's on with y'all, man.